What's up guys, this is Miasin. So we just got some new cards announced in Alliance Insight and also the Chinese OCG ban list. Not that it really matters, but might as well check it out just because, I don't know, whatever, who cares. Anyways, before we go any further, you already know the drill, smash the like and the subscribe button, blah blah blah. Okay, so I guess this is a picture where we already have all the limitations and bans and everything, but might as well go straight to the text. So Biz Dweller is banned also, right? So it's the exact same as the regular OCG. And then Beatrice, Kaiser Coliseum. I think Kaiser Coliseum is also, is it limited in the OCG? I really have to double check. Hold on a second, because we haven't had that card in a while actually. And better like that. Yeah, okay, so it's actually banned in the TCG and in the OCG now. Okay, interesting. Because the Asian English, I think Kaiser Coliseum is at 1 now. Anyways, no limitations, semi-limited, so maxi, so exactly just like the OCG. However, X-Raziel is a 2, which is interesting because in the OCG it's at 1 and in the TCG it's a 3. 3 different formats where this card doesn't have the same, limitation for each. And then 7 Tachyon, exact same as the OCG if I recall correctly, and yeah, this doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get into the first card, which is NT8 Serious. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Or maybe just NT8000 Serious, whatever, who cares. So it's a level 8 Dark Machine. Okay, 23, 25. You can only use the second and third effect once per turn. This link card cannot be destroyed by battle. We're kind of off to a bad start. During a turn, a link monster activated an effect. Any link monster, okay, at any moment. Quick effect, you can target one face-up card on your field and one face-up card on your opponent's field. Destroy those 2 cards. It says destroy those 2 cards, so it's worded the same way as SP Little Knight and the the Unchained Trap card that pops, Escape. So in other words, if one of the targets survives, the other one just doesn't die. But it's a cool card. I mean, yeah, it's basically almost the exact same as Escape. It's just that it has to target face-up cards. But yeah, I mean, that's relatively okay-ish. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the field, and you control a Dark Link monster, you can special summon this card, but if it leaves the field, it is banished instead. I mean, that's actually not too bad, because if it's like detached by a material, then it just comes back. So my first reflex when looking at this card is it could be potential Orcus support, because it is a Dark Machine. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know, it has to have some form of application in that deck. You can go Link 1, pitch this from the hand, and then it comes back. You can even like hard make Dingirsu with it if you really want to, and then when you detach off of Dingirsu or when you link off the Dingirsu, then it comes back, and then on your opponent's turn you trigger Galatea or the Galatea Eye, because now there's 2 Galateas. Obviously, why not make it as confusing as possible? So obviously, if you're trying to play this as a generic free agent card, I don't think it's gonna work too much. But in the Orcus deck, this is honestly kind of good. It's just an extra interruption. It's an extra body that recurs itself back, potentially infinitely. And also, even if it's not infinitely, when it gets banished, again, it's just going to fuel your banished for your Orcus cards, because you just shuffle back any machine. As a matter of fact, I do remember that Sky Striker Orcus, one really cool thing it used to do, it used to shuffle back Kagari with Galatea, so that even with 1 Kagari, you could just loop back your Sky Striker cards over and over. I just want to double check that Galatea shuffles back any machine. Yeah, you can target one of your banished machine monsters, shuffle it into the deck. I kind of forgot how it actually got the Kagaris to hit the banished, instead of, just being in the grave. But yeah, this is nice. I think World Wand is also able to revive back this. So yeah, no, honestly, great card. I think it's probably going to replace Gizmek Orochi in the Orcus. And yeah, I think everything about this card except for the first effect is good. This is just not necessary at all. It probably could have been something else that maybe would have been more relevant. But again, the fact that it is a great discard fodder for the Galatea Eye Link 1 monster is already good enough for me. So I am extremely satisfied. I will give this card like a solid 8 out of 10. Just because, I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. But yeah, no, it's a cool card. Anyways, now we've got Fila Gris. It looks almost like a fish. I don't know. It's, yeah, whatever. Anyways, it is a level 8 Dark Dragon Fusion, exact same stats as Blue Eyes. And you need a Dragon Fusion and a level 7 or higher Dragon Monster, sorry. How is this realistic as a super poly target? I do not know. And, okay, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During the main phase, a quick effect, you can target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it. Then if you banish a card from the field, you gotta return a dragon monster you control to the hand. Is this supposed to be like indirect Dragon Maid support? Because the fact that you return back any dragon monster you control to the hand is bad in everything other than obviously decks that utilize the bestial monsters, or in Dragon Maid. In Dragon Maid, it's actually a good thing because it's going to trigger your House Dragon Maid, which has the ability to destroy, I believe, a monster your opponent controls whenever one of your dragons gets returned back to the hand. Let me just double check real quick. House Dragon Maid. When another face-up dragon monster control returns to the hand, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Actually, yeah, that's exactly what it does. Okay, cool, so this can literally lead to like double interruptions, because you're going to be banishing a card your opponent controls, which is already extremely good, and then you're going to be bouncing back one of your dragons, which again gets you even more, I guess, recursion, even more follow-up. Because again, the Dragon Maid deck is extremely good at just summoning a bunch of monsters on the opponent's turn. You even have Tidying or Heretic Seal that can summon a dragon monster. You can summon Magnamut on the opponent's turn, and then Magnamut gets its effect, and then you bounce back the Magnamut that you... That's insane. I just like this a lot. It's not even like a drawback if you're playing it, again, in the deck you're supposed to be playing it in. Because Konami knows exactly what they're doing. This card is getting released at the exact same time as all the other Dragon Maid support in Alliance Insight. So again, it makes sense that even though it's not a Dragon Maid monster, it has synergy with the Dragon Maid deck. So I really like this. I think it's really cool. The first effect, like I said, is insane. Like, you can banish a card your opponent controls or in the grave. That's cracked. And if it's from the graveyard, then you don't have to neg on anything. Okay, at the start of your opponent's battle phase, again, Dragon Maid, wink wink. If this card is in your grave, you can return one dragon monster you control to the hand or extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card. I'm not gonna lie, this effect is actually unfair. This is actually extremely good, but then again, if you revive back this on your opponent's battle phase, you won't be able to use the first effect, just because they did make it a little balanced. Instead of saying at any moment, quick effect, you can blah 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 blah, it's during the main phase only. Alright, fair enough. But then your opponent will still have to go into main phase too. That's mandatory. Your opponent cannot go straight from battle phase to end phase. So if he goes into battle phase is optional. You don't have to do it. You still have to, you still have to like play into this eventually, which can make you play into the first effect. And the first effect, like we already said, is extremely dangerous. So I like this a lot. I really like this card. I like the infinite recursion game that you get whenever you summon this card once. It's just so nice. That's again another thing that I'm a huge fan of with Dragon Maid. It's the fact that once you get stabilized, you can't lose anymore, because there's just so many cards that keep coming back. You never run out of gas because you always return back the cards to the hand. You always revive back your monsters from the graveyard super easy. You get access to like big attack monsters quickly because your small Dragon Maids, they can turn into the big Dragon Maids super easily. And again, you can be on like super simplified game state on top deck mode. You summon any garbage dragon monster, and then yeah, you bounce it back. This comes back. You banish something. You bounce back another monster. You keep looping your bestials over and over and over. So I think the bestial engine in Dragon Maid is just going to be absolutely filthy with this. But yeah, how do you make it? You make it using the new Dragon Maid fusion monster. So you're going to be fusing. It's not a turn 1 thing, huh? You need a Dragon Fusion, any level 7 or higher Dragon monster. So usually it's probably going to be the new Dark monster that's like really good in Dragon Maid. Or it can even be a Dark and Evaporation Dragon. That could also be pretty respectable. Okay, so overall there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this card. This would probably get like an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Just because, again, it's only really good in Dragon Maid. I wouldn't really see myself playing this in anything else. Unless you're maybe playing it in like a... I don't know, like a Bestial Dragon Link control deck. This could also make a lot of sense. Absolutely, it could. But I wouldn't really play it generically. And as a Super Poly target, I don't really think it's real. Unless, maybe it might. Actually, it might. It might be better than I think it is. And also, again, even if you have like no dragons, you can still use the banish like an opponent's grave card in the graveyard for free. Without having to bounce back a dragon monster. And then again, if you do play bestials, then it gets exponentially better. So yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about these 2 new cards that are coming out in Alliance Insight, as well as the OCG Chinese ban list. It's not the same, right? This format is irrelevant to us and also irrelevant to the OCG because it's distinct. Now, don't ask me questions. Don't ask me like how... is there like gonna even be like big events using like this list? Maybe, because now there's YCSs in China, Guangzhou or something. I really have no idea how to pronounce it, but yeah, that was the first Chinese YCS, I believe. And I think we're far from done. Well, hopefully. It would be nice to keep having YCSs in China. And I would actually love to go to YCS in Asia one day, but I'm pretty sure they're like closed. You can only go there if you're like a local resident. Otherwise, there's also like the language barrier, which usually I don't care about, but I don't even think like the judges and stuff even speak English there. Maybe there's some like in the tournament organizers that have to speak like a little bit of English, but I don't really think the OCG necessarily has to care about us. They just do their own thing, and also again, it's a different format. So if I go to the OCG for YCS, I'm expecting to scrub. I'm pretty much just gonna play for fun, just for the experience. And I'm probably just gonna vlog it in case it becomes like open to the public, but again, I think it's only for OCG players. You guys let me know how you feel about these new cards, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.